When are you going to finally just surrender to his plan? When are you going to just finally just let go of all the outcomes, all the things that you need, and just allow everything to happen? I mean, it says it so clearly in the Bible. It's Mark 11:24. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Okay, it doesn't say it's going to be yours in 30 days. It doesn't say it's going to be yours in 6 months, a year, 5 years. It just says, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that you have to just live in the state. You just have to live in the state and let everything rearrange itself. I mean, that is probably the hardest work, but that will cause you to develop such faith in God and really like awaken within, because now you're at peace. You're at complete peace and you're just living in the end. You're living in spirit. You're living by what he's already shown you in imagination, in vision, to where you're not deterred or doubting or worrying or anything based on what's taking place on the outside. Like, that's really all it comes down to. Can you get to that place, please, for yourself, in order for you to actually live the life that you were called here to live? I mean, that's really all it comes down to. But are you going to get to that place? Or are you going to continue to fight? Are you going to continue to engage in what's taking place in the now and be frustrated by what's taking place in the physical? You have a choice. Are you going to go based on the physical, or are you going to go based on the spiritual? That's all it comes down to. So if you're going based on the physical, you're going to continually think that you are not the version of you that you want to be. If you go by the spiritual, you know that it's already done. That is the hardest concept for people to actually understand, because they've been so conditioned to live by the physical, to define themselves based on the physical, because that's what everyone else sees, and that's the plane of existence that everyone else is on. So are you going to really get that? Are you going to go that deep and get so emotionally involved with an idea in your imagination and not give a fuck about what anyone thinks, and not give a fuck about what anyone says, or what's taking place in the physical? You could go through bankruptcy, you could go through a breakup, you could go through, emotional trauma and relationships and whatever it may be. In the physical, things can take place in your reality, and it could be terrible and not the ideal results that you want. But those things can happen, and if you're living by spirit, if you're living by the vision, you don't even care. You don't even bat an eye, because you actually realize that that's the very thing that has to happen in order for the fulfillment of the vision. And that's the craziest part, is that when you actually realize this and you awaken within and you start living by the spirit, you start living by the vision, things can happen and you're like, oh yeah, that needs to happen. Oh yeah, that needs to happen that way in order to mold me perfectly. Like, you trust the actual unfoldment of it in everything that's taking place. Like, what greater life would that be for you to actually bless everything that you're going through and say, wow, that actually needed to happen. And even as you're going through it, you're like, yep, I'm just watching it play out. We're just watching it play out. Imagine if you can get to that place, and it's the greatest place that you can get to, because you're just at peace. You're already living in the end. He already showed you the end, so now you're just letting it all play out. You're letting all the, bad relationships be removed. You're letting all the parts of you be removed that need to be removed. You're strengthening yourself through the fire and going through all the adversities that you have to go through in order to mold you perfectly into the vessel that can carry what you're asking for. Now you're like, all right, we're good. I know his process is taking place, and that's the greatest process that can take place, and it's exact and it's perfect. And I can just sit here and just be at peace with it, because I know exactly how it ends. So I'm just going to sit here and go through everything that I have to go through, not trip about any of it, because I know it's actually all aligned, that it's all connected, and it's all leading to what it is that I desire. Could you really grasp that? What I just said, Everything's connected. Okay, God, infinite intelligence, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it. There's one power, and it's connected to everything. And when you realize that, it's going to happen in perfect time. Like everything's being orchestrated. So when you understand that, now you're at peace with the process. But the only thing that's going to stop you from being at peace with the process is your ego. Your ego is going to want to say, well, my bank account doesn't show it now. Well, my car doesn't show it now. Well, my status doesn't show it now. And all you're thinking about is appearing and acquiring. And it's never about appearing and acquiring. It's always about being and becoming. So you're looking at it from the wrong end of the spectrum. The ego is concerned about appearing and acquiring. God is concerned about being and becoming. So God's going to sit here and say, look who you are being and who you are becoming. What does that mean? Who you are being right now in this moment. Regardless of what's taking place in the physical, who are you being? Who are you actually, who have you embodied? Like, who are you? I'm speaking on stages all over the world. I'm mentoring millions of people all over the world. My wife, our sons are here, the mansion's here, the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis, the Rolls Royces, the private jets, the hundreds of millions of dollars, like it's all already here. The prophecy's already fulfilled. Okay, so that's who I am being right now. I'm already in that state because I've elevated past the vices, past the ego, past the temptation, past the lusts of the flesh, and removed all those things. And when you remove all those things, now you awaken within. Now he shows you the vision. And now you live in the state and you watch everything rearrange on the outside to reflect it. Because you understand deeper level principles of how this reality actually works. Now you can just sit back and just relax and just know it's just a matter of time. And that's the craziest part of it all, is that people don't realize that it's really just a matter of them evolving from within, mastering self, and being at peace with the process.